Hi beer lovers, welcome to Beer CZ. I'm Bob Donaldson and this video is about Samson beer. This Samson is the oldest brewery in České Budějovice and it's 100 years older than Budvar Brewery itself, dating back to 1795, which is the name of one of the beers. I have the beers here, but I don't have a 1795, I've only got the glass. This is the glass here. And it says, if you can see, 1795 and from České Budějovice. Why the name Samson? In the main square there's a fountain which dates back to 1720. Then the fountain has a diameter of 17 meters and there's a sculpture of Samson taming a lion. The originals of the statues are now in the town hall, which is on the corner of the square itself. The square itself is one of the biggest in the Czech Republic, at over 1 hectare, which is over 107,000 square feet. So it is a very, very big square, original facades, cobbled streets all around. Let's go back to the names again. We spoke about the Samson name. The original was the the Budweiser Burger Brew from the Germans a long time ago. So going back, they had the trademark for the name Budweiser. So Budvar used the trademark Budějovický Budvar. So the BB Budweiser Burger Brew was used on a beer, but now I have still got a glass. You can see here it said Budweiser Bohemia on the glass itself. So the same style of glass, this one says České Budějovice, from České Budějovice, that one says slightly different. The brewery was built in the 18th century and it lies in the south of the city. Budvar is actually in the north of the city. It's on the main thoroughfare from the south of the city. The south end runs right through the city down to the villages below. The name of the brewery is Pivovar Samson AS, which is Brewery Samson AS, which is a member now of the Anheuser-Busch group. The name has changed over the years. We spoke about some of the names. It's been Budějovický Městský Pivovar AS, Budějovický Town or City Brewery. So Anheuser-Busch bought it in 2014. Before that it was Budweiser Burger Brew, as we spoke about the glasses. And after 2014 the name was changed to the Pivovar Samson AS. If you look in the links below, there is a link to the website, Samson website, which is also in English. Here's a close-up of some of the beer glasses. We looked at the Budweiser Burger Brew from the Budweiser Bohemia. And then this is 1795 beer glass, which says from České Budějovice. And this is a 0.3 litre glass. Typically you have 0.3 and 0.5. And this is Samson glass with the logo of a Samson statue. And it says Budweiser beer, but beer spelt the German way, B-I-E-R. This is the entrance of the brewery, showing the Samson logo and the Anheuser-Busch logo below. Further down the road on the same building is the original sign on the wall, which hasn't been covered, which reads Budweiser Burger Brew. Světlý Vyčepný 10 degrees, a light beer with ABV of 4.1, bitterness of 3 and colour of 2.5 out of 5. There are no IBU and EBC available from Samson. 11 degree Světlý Ležák, a beer with an ABV of 4.7, bitterness of 3.5 and a colour of 3. 12 degree Světlý Ležák, This beer has an ABV of 5.1, bitterness of 4 and a colour of 3.5. Tmawy Leżak 11 degrees. So this is the darkest one with a colour of 5, but quite sweet. It's 2.5 on the bitterness, so very dark and very sweet. They all have a bit of a bitter aftertaste. It has an ABV of 4.5. Nachemelny Leżak. This is extra hops. So slightly bitter with 4 out of 5 and a colour of 3 and a 4.9 alcohol by volume. Bock Budějovice Special. This is the strongest beer with an ABV of 6.1 and also the most bitter at 4.5 with a colour of 4. Pito Net Alcohol. This is the non-alcoholic beer with an ABV of 0.5%, bitterness of 3 and colour of 2. That's the lightest coloured beer. 1795. This has an ABV of 4.8%. There is no information about the bitterness or colour, but I would say a bitterness of about 3.5 and a colour of about the same, 3.5. So first, the Samson beers is the 10, the 11 and the 12, and you can see that on the label itself. So this is the Wycheprny, the 10, and then they call these Swietly Leżak, and this one Swietly Leżak, light lager. So the 10 is 4.1% alcohol, the 11 is 4.7% alcohol, and the last one here 5.1% alcohol. Now if we look at the bitterness, if remember from another video, this didn't have a number for bitterness or colour. I couldn't get this out of the brewery themselves, although they're actually in the same street as me. So this one is 3 on the bitterness, 3.5 on the bitterness, and 4 on the bitterness out of 5. Colour, 2.5, so it's quite a light colour, 3 and 3.5, so slightly more each on that. So this is going to be the most bitter, least bitter on that. So you decide, you know, that I like to typically go for one that's in the middle, 11s, something like that. It depends. At home I tend to go for 10s. So on the other video I was talking about the colour of the tops, and on these they're all exactly the same. So I suppose for them it keeps the cost down. You only have to produce one lid. The others had different lids for the different bottles. So let's get an opener and see. So we'll start with the 10. I'll put that there next to it. There's a nice golden colour with that one. Oh, I don't suppose there is too much difference in colour between these two. Ooh. Not really much difference between the two. So the last one. Can't really tell much difference in the 3 colours there, not from here behind the light. So let's try the first one. the 10, that's Ravi. A bit of a drier aftertaste, drier than some normal 10s. This is the 11. Yeah, it's a slightly drier, more drier aftertaste than that one, so this one is going to be even more. I can't really tell much difference between this one and this one. So, 3 more beers here from Samson. You've got here the 11, this is Tamavi Ležák, which is a 4.5% alcohol, 3.5 in bitterness, and colour of 5 out of 5. This is a new one. I found it in the shop, but it's not on their website. This is a Nachamelny Ležák. Nachamelny is extra hops. If you look up translate the word as one word, it comes out of beery, which is a funny description of it. The last one is a Bock, which is from a German name. This is the strongest beer. You can see it at the bottom here. It's 6.1% alcohol. So that's the strongest out. This one was 4.9, so quite strong again. These are quite strong beers here. So this one, the bitterness is 4.5, so that's quite bitter, and the colour is 4. So let's open these up. Let's start off with the extra hops. A hoppy taste. It has a stronger, you can smell the extra hops in there. And as you see, sort of a goldeny colour. And then this one, the Bock, which was going to be slightly darker, but it's still going to be a sort of a goldeny colour. There you can see the difference in colour between those two, and even the head. This is quite white on the head of this one. This is more creamy. This one is the dark one. It's got 5 on the darkness scale. We haven't got the scale to 100 on the Samson. I couldn't get hold of it. So this, you can see, is a very creamy head. Put it the other way. And you can see that it's quite a dark beer. So let's taste this one first. I can smell the extra hops in it, but I can't taste the extra hops in it. It's comparable to the ones like the 12 that we tasted before. This one is the Bock. It should be slightly more on the bitterness. Yes, I can taste the more bitterness in that one. And this, of course, will be the bitterness and the caramel. Normally with these, you get a caramel aftertaste, bitterness aftertaste, not sweet caramel. Yes, you get this first sweetish, and then I can taste it now, the sort of burnt caramel aftertaste to it. For me, myself, I prefer the lighter beers with the less bitter taste than these. So we've got the 1795 if we can get it, and maybe we can compare that with the Pito, which is the non-alcoholic one. This is the last two beers from Samson. We've got the Pito, which is the non-alcoholic of 0.5% alcohol and a bitterness of 3, and then the colour of 2, so quite a light colour. This is 1795. Now I received this today from Samson. Thank you very much for them for giving these to me. It's only a 0.33 bottle, it's an export bottle. It doesn't give me the colour and the bitterness, but it gives me the alcohol volume 4.8. I think on the website it says 4.7. So that's the last two that we've got to try here. So we need this. This is not going to be very full in this glass. I can smell the stronger smell as soon as I open it. And the Pito. Now, I would have thought that the non-alcoholic ones, they all have this distinct taste to them. There we go, we've put those two together so we can see it. Colour-wise, you see they're very close. Let's try the Pito first. Yeah, it's got that, they've all got this non-alcoholic smell to them. Although that one is one of the nicest ones that I've tried for the non-alcoholic. I could drink that in the pub, the other ones I couldn't. This is the 1795, and of course 1795 is the year that Samson started, so they used this number label because of it. That's very. A nice flavour with that one. There's not much bitterness to it. It is still quite a sweet, of course not as sweet as this, but it is quite a sweet beer. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, then put them in the comments below. I can get back to you or put you in the right directions. Please subscribe. You can click on the beer glass in the bottom corner here and set on the notifications as well. And please share it so other people can see it. Thank you very much for watching and na zdraví, cheers from Beer CZ.